Hello and welcome to Radio Waves. I'm your host, Kris Poliquin, and this is a production of Red Apples Media. We're broadcasting out of WLBE Real Country 790 AM out of Leesburg, Florida. And if you're watching us on television, you're doing so on Lake Sumter TV, Comcast Channel 13, Spectrum 498, and CenturyLink Prism Channel 83. So today I have a rebel as a guest who wants to go against the grain. But we're going to be speaking with Joe Bamford from Get Off the Bus Concerts, and we're going to discuss what his organization does, who it benefits, and some of the events that he has coming up in the future. We'll also speak with a couple of these organizations that are in partnership with Get Off the Bus. Joe, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Sorry. Just kidding.
And it begins. All right. Yeah. So, Maria, thank you for coming on the show. Joe, tell us a little bit about Get Off the Bus. What, maybe a little background on why it got started and why it's important.
Well, it started in Canada because that's where I'm from. And I live in a small little community that has a hospital, which is pretty important in that community. Mm-hmm. It's important to me because it's the only hospital in the area, and I had just recently had to go there for an extended length of time. So it's very important. So I thought, I know a lot of people in the music business because I owned a tour bus company, rock and roll tour bus company, based out of Leesburg, by the way. That's why. That's my connection to Leesburg. The buses were all built down here. And anyway, I thought, I could get some bands to play. And one of the band's first ones was a girl by the name of Jan Arden. And Jan, I tried to get her to, her manager to do a show. And then Jan piped in and said, look, I'm doing a book tour for 10 days. I need a bus. You give me the bus, and I'll get off your stupid bus and do a concert. And I went, there you go. Get off the bus.
Get off the bus.
And it was formed. So we raised, on that show, $8,000 in a little 400-seat venue, about the size of the one over here at the university, the college over here, and raised it for the hospital. So that was the beginning of it. So now I got to help out the community and sort of pay back using the connections that I have over the years in the music business. So.
Okay, so what you do effectively is get acts, bands, shows that travel the world or the country anyway, and how does it work? Do the artists want to do this, or do you kind of like to have to strong arm them?
Well, here's an example.
Because there are other buses.
Yeah,
they choose to get on yours.
Yeah, Willie Nelson.
Okay,
I know. I'm not saying he's my best friend, okay, but I know Willie Nelson. Mm-hmm. And I've been to a lot of his shows because his buses that he uses are supplied by my partner down here in Leesburg. Okay. So I go to a Willie show, and then one day I was out in the Savannah Center at a John Tesh show and with my partner here in Florida. And I'm looking at the show thinking, I could do a concert here. Mm-hmm. Slam dunk for me. Yeah. Been doing this for years, right? 40 years, right? So anyway, I asked Willie, next time we were at one of his shows, if he'd do a show for us in the Villages. And he said, how many people does it hold? I said, 800. He says, oh, it's kind of like a high school gymnasium, you mean? I said, yeah. And he says, why not? It took 2 years to convince the people in the Villages that people in the Villages would pay more than $40 for a ticket.
Wow.
But we were able to after a couple of years, and we did it. And it sold out.
Of course, Willie Nelson.
Yeah. And then I happened to be at a Merle Haggard show with my partner from here in Florida, Jerry Calhoun, who knows everybody in the country music business.
Right.
And Merle Haggard says, I heard Willie played a show with you guys. And I said, yeah, he did. And he says, what about me? I said, what about you? When do you want to do it? He says, can I make any money? I said, yeah, you can make some money. I'm not asking you to play for nothing.
Right.
And I don't ask him to play for nothing. Sure. And Merle Haggard was the next one. And that's how it goes. So it's kind of like I just sit at my house on the phone, calling people, asking, I look at schedules and I say, hey, America's coming through Florida. You guys interested in a date? And they go, well, yeah, all our Fridays and Saturdays are taken. I said, that's okay, because every day in the villages is Friday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So it
for
doesn't
sure.
make any difference.
For sure.
And to me, it doesn't anyway. And that's how it kind of works. So I get my kicks out of talking them into it
Sure.
and then trying to get the price down a little bit, to make it work, right? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right?
And that's what that's kind of what I'm asking. You're trying to get what to work, because some of this money goes to specific organizations.
Yeah.
Is there a set fee, and how many organizations do you have? And Maria, I'm going to introduce you formally. Bless your heart, you're sitting here very, very patiently.
Yep.
So we have
let me
Maria Stefanovic, who is the executive director of the Leesburg Center for the Arts. Yep. And you're one of these organizations that are in a partnership with Joe and Get Off the Bus concert,
We are.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you tell them how it happened.
So, one night, Friday night.
In the villages.
No?
No, he actually came by the Art Center. We were having our gallery opening for Judith Pressman, and Joe was in there wandering around, and I had our program coordinator said, hey, I think you need to meet this guy. He's in here, and he wants to talk to you. So Joe and I kind of locked eyes, and he walked over, and I introduced myself, and when we just started talking, and we host a songwriters night several different times in the year. Mm-hmm. We've done songwriter workshops. We really tried to foster music in the area, especially homegrown music. So it was a good fit, and we came together, and he did an organization for Don McLean, and here we are.
And
Just as simple as that.
it's simple as that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how important is that to the center?
It's hard to explain because it is a phenomenal opportunity for us to grow. It's a fundraising arm that we haven't explored yet, and it's an additional revenue stream that will help support our performing arts programming that we're trying to instill in the area here. We just had a phenomenal Saturday with our Saturday gathering, which is a variety of different artists that come through, musicians, most of them, and they just kind of hang out. But then we had a mini workshop for young violinists. And we had a violin instructor come from Daytona Beach, Jesse James, and he taught 16 kids for free for 2 hours. And what that did was inspire these kids and their parents and their siblings, all that came in, to move forward with lessons or find another instrument, just to. It gave them the opportunity to practice, to play. And we want to be able to offer that more. And these funds that we would get from this concert would help us develop that.
Right, because you rely on, well, everybody relies on funds to operate. And some organizations have a harder time at it.
We do, yeah.
And, well, no, not necessarily. I just mean in general, especially when you're looking at the arts nowadays.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think it's starting to make a resurgence.
It is making a resurgence.
People are getting interested in it yet again.
Yes, and our Lake County schools has taken interest in bringing that back into the school system, so that's helpful. It's for us. I mean, we live in an area that has struggled for a while, and it's been very agricultural, and went through construction as a big part of their industry, and never really relied heavily on the arts as an industry. So it's also bringing awareness that the arts and culture actually helps with the quality of life and economic development, and enhances your overall wellness. So there's a lot of aspects to it, but we've seen a resurgence in our organization in the last 2 years, and that's been comforting, but also it's given us the fire we need, the fuel we need to keep going. And we've had 10,000 people
great.
Through the Art Center in the last year.
Really?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm really excited for what 2019 is going to bring, and what this partnership's going to bring.
And that's what I find so interesting. Joe, we've spoken in the past, and I love the concept. I really, really, really do. And the fact that you get to bring in big acts into, we'll say, smaller communities. Central Florida is not really on the map. You know, it's not a big L.A., Orlando,
Right.
New York City type of city for concert shows. But you're bringing in, top acts for as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You're talking names like Willie Nelson, well, and even some that are a little lesser known. We were talking about Pavlo prior to this show, you know. So if someone wanted to get information on the Leesburg Center of the Arts, or to maybe participate in some of these events, where can they get that information?
So we're located in downtown Leesburg, 429 West Magnolia Street. So we're a block from Town Square. The best place to find our ever-changing calendar is leesburgarts.com. And we're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. That's our normal gallery hours. But we've got so many other programs that happen after hours and over the weekend. So that's why we refer people to go to our calendar online and check it out. So that way you can go in and participate. And most of our programs are free.
Right.
So, we offer concerts, we have classes, we have open studios. So, and even if you just want to come in for your break at lunch and just check out the gallery exhibit, it's all free. So come in, get a little bit of taste of art.
All right. Now, Joe, who did you set the Leesburg Center for the Arts up with again?
Don McLean.
Don McLean. And when is this?
Feb 1.
February 1st.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to go specifically to that or get information on Get Off the Bus and see a list of yours, where can they get that information?
Get Off the Bus, concerts.com.
Okay.
Or they can buy tickets through our website, or they can go to thesharon.com to buy tickets.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have time for this? I have an idea. Just thought of
do
it.
it.
And this is how I work with all this stuff.
Sure.
I roll all the time. Why don't we get some kids from the center to come up and play in the lobby of the Sharon before the show? Now, here I am breaking the rules. I got to call the Sharon first, right, and say,
Okay.
is that okay if we do this, right?
It's
But
all right.
I think it would be really cool. And by the way, that's a part of this whole thing. It's not just the money. What Get Off the Bus always says is in support of, because some shows don't make any money. Matter of fact, I've lost what probably a lot of people earn in a year in one night. Easy,
Wow.
Easy to do it, easy.
Sure.
But if it's in support of, meaning first of all, we try, and we're trying even more to let people know about what they do through our website and social media. Also, that they come to the show, set up a table, and explain to people what they do, and try to get people on their email list.
Yeah.
And then there's always a guitar that the artist will sign that they can raffle off to raise money that way. So, but it's really more about the support of it all, right? And the fact that if I could get this agreed to, the fact that some of the kids they could come and play violin
Yeah, I love
in
that.
the lobby. It would be cool. Right?
That would be.
That's
That would be
that's
really
what
cool.
that
And
to
that's
me.
an opportunity for them
Yes.
to go, oh, we're playing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
And,
right?
and there you have it.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
what
have
it's
it.
all about to me, right there.
Well, Joe, we need to take a quick break. Maria, this is it for you. So we'll see you again
Well,
in the future.
Thank you for
hope.
having us, or me.
Absolutely. Or you. All right.
right.
Well, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Radio Waves. Again, I'm your host, Kris Poliquin, and this is a production of Red Apples Media. Today we're speaking with Joe Bamford and a couple of organizations that he's working with, talking about what Get Off the Bus does and how it affects specific organizations. So, welcome back, Joe. And for this segment, I'd like to introduce Danielle Stroud, who is from Habitat for Humanity. All right, so before we get into Habitat, because I'd like you to explain to the audience exactly what they do.
Sure.
Joe, do we have any major events that you would like our audience to maybe look forward to coming down the road?
Okay, so we've touched on Don McLean.
Don McLean, that's February 1st.
And then REO Speedwagon, which is a show which is connected with Habitat.
Okay. Oh, see, now that's
Yeah.
REO Speedway.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
come
good
on.
one.
Yeah.
I know.
Come
I
on.
said that's the one I'll take. Thank you.
And then on the following night, Travis Tritt, which is connected
Wow.
which is connected with Cornerstone Hospice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not always a popular topic for artists to say, oh, isn't there another charity? I said, no, this is what I like to do. Okay, so then we spring past. Oh, on January 27th, we have a show in Mount Dora with Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Nice.
And the partnership there is the Friends of the Community Center. And they installed an $80,000 sound system in there, and they're working on lights and stuff to make it a better
yes.
place to go see shows. And they said to me one day, if you can keep bringing shows here, it'd be great. And I said, well, let's just do a show for you guys. So, Glenn Miller. It's an afternoon show, which I've never done before.
Huh.
But I thought after church and before dinner on a Sunday might be a cool time to try to do it, right? So
Yeah.
that's what it is. March the 6th, Glass Tiger, which was a
right.
band that I managed and with
I
another
was about
partner.
to say, that's deep in your history
Yeah,
back in the day.
and they sold a few million records, and
Mm-hmm.
it was the beginning of my career of actually making money in the music business. And I just was talking to them one day, said, you know what? Because they still get to do shows now,
Yeah.
more than ever now, right?
Yeah.
I said, you guys, I'll come down to Florida and I'll do a show with you. And they said, anytime, Joe, you work it out. So March the 6th.
Awesome.
And then on March 16th, and this is a special show for me, I was introduced to the Lake Hill School in Howena Hills because I lived down there, and I was invited to their Christmas pageant a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
I was so touched that I just had to do something. So that show with the OJs is what is on March 16th.
Nice. Again,
is for them.
big names.
Yeah.
We're talking real big names.
Well, it's like go big, go home, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
Absolutely.
Riskier, much riskier, but I've lived on risk all my life. I don't know what it's like to collect a paycheck. I never have. Don't understand it. Never been there. Never been lucky enough.
Well, it's quite nice, if I
Yeah.
may say so myself.
Yeah.
So, Danielle, tell us a little bit about the Habitat for Humanity.
Sure. So I'm the Director of Development for the Habitat affiliate here in Lake and Sumter County. So the first thing I always like to say is that Habitat for Humanity is a really large name, and it's pretty recognized internationally and here in the States. But a lot of people don't know that we're what's called a federated model. So each local affiliate serves in its own geographic area and can only fundraise in its geographic area. So our Habitat affiliate shapes our programs around the people here in our community, which is Lake and Sumter, for our affiliate. And we work to fundraise. And, I found this relationship with Joe, which has been great because it's easy for me. And he's a wonderful guy. And when he said, hey, you want to do this? I said, of course I do.
And you're getting REO Speedway.
And that's right. It's a great concert.
And this is
So-
our second show together.
this is
Oh,
our
is it?
second
Now,
time
how
doing
did
it.
you guys end up meeting?
We met at a BNI meeting. Don
Yes.
Magruder of Romac Lumber here locally introduced us.
Yeah.
Don is a huge Habitat supporter, so he's always introduced me to people, and that's how I met Joe.
Yeah.
So our Habitat affiliate serves here locally, and our main objective is to simply provide affordable housing solutions. So that can be through repairs. We do home repairs for already existing homeowners, or it could be building a new home for a family who wants to try and become a homeowner. So we take them through that step-by-step process, and we prepare them to be a good homeowner, understand what it means to do that, budgeting, education's included. There's a lot to
Really?
it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, see, again,
Yeah,
I
you learn
wasn't
something
aware
new,
of
right?
all that. You learn something new every day. So, I didn't realize that. Do you operate strictly off of fundraising?
Not strictly off of fundraising. That's about a third
Okay,
of
'cause
our
we're
revenue.
talking about homes.
Yeah,
so-
it's very expensive to build homes.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah, sure.
So we have three main revenue sources. One is fundraising, which is my role and responsibility primarily. And then we, of course, have the mortgages. Our families do not get homes for free. They have to pay an affordable mortgage. Habitat
Okay.
helps bridge that gap from the traditional market to where we are so that our families can afford that mortgage. That's really what our role is.
Okay.
And then the third thing is our restores. We have 4 restores throughout the community, and they're basically thrift stores. We have one in Eustis, Groveland, Wildwood, and Leesburg.
Really? Okay, so, and again,
Yeah.
that's like we were talking about. There's so much information, and so many organizations in our local area do great things. Just don't know about them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah, there's a lot
don't
out there.
know.
Yeah.
So, get off the bus. Wow, that's got to be. Let me ask you, what's it like to be you and see? No. Finish. Let me finish the question.
Sorry.
Because that's a rabbit hole we don't need to fall into. But what's it like, through your eyes to see? Because from what I can see, you're doing good things, and truly helping out good organizations with these partnerships that you have. It's got to be satisfying, whether you collect a paycheck or not.
But here's what's in it for me and my wife, Fatima, by the way, who has been my rock for years that we've been together, is that we have a motto at our house: I catch, she cleans. So I think of these shows, and then I hand her the paperwork, and she goes, "Oh my gosh."
Right.
She's got to figure it all out and pay people and send deposits,
Yeah.
And,
I've got a great idea.
and then,
Really?
and then there's a 40-page rider of things they want or need, and the food and whatever, and she deals with organizing that, right?
Sure.
So, but what's in it for me and us, Fatima and I, is when we're at a concert and it's going great, and the people are loving it. The people are loving it. She comes over to me and says, "We did it."
That's got to be satisfying.
You can't describe it.
You get to see the look on people's faces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, "We did it. This was a good one." And you know what? There's been some shows where we dumped a lot of money on them. But my
Sure.
wife will come over to me, put her hand on my back and said, "Hey, we did it. It was good. It was good for the people. They enjoyed it. We lost a bit of money, but who cares?" Right?
Wow.
So, and that's what it's all about. But I didn't know all those things about Habitat until just now.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. It's that it surrounds you every day,
Yeah.
and you just got to. Sometimes you got to take the time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say research because that word scares people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
Just
people
look
love it,
into
but
it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if someone wanted to get more
Yeah.
information, where's a good? Where can they go get that info?
so our website is the best place to go, which is habitatls.org. So they can also call the office at 352-483-0434, either to find out the programs that we do if you're maybe a client that needs help, or to find out how you could be involved with Habitat, whether you want to be a donor or volunteer. There's lots of great opportunities to constantly get involved. And I just barely, I'm scraping what we do. We do a lot of different things. And Joe's
Oh,
been a
I know.
huge help with his organization in funding some of those projects. So,
And
Can I just
You did it.
throw this in here, a little plug for Don Magruder and Romac Lumber.
absolutely.
What would be so great for Get Off the Bus is got people like Romac Lumber. I announce a show, and I get an email from Don Magruder. 10 tickets. That's it. No questions, 10 tickets. So anything, and what they do is they give them to customers, invite them to the show, or they give them to staff, but they always take tickets. It's
Sure.
different amounts, right? Well, just think, if more businesses in the Leesburg area, car dealerships, whatever, right? Doctors, lawyers, dentists, whatever.
Sure.
Come and get your teeth fixed, and here's a pair of tickets to see so and so.
Right. It's a nice gift.
If they all jumped in and got on the bus with us, right? Then we would know that we have some tickets sold, and I'd always save them good seats, right?
Yeah.
But Don was the first.
Really?
He just said, "Oh yeah," I don't know whether it was Willie Nelson or what. He just got a hold of me and said, "I want a bunch of tickets for Willie Nelson." I said, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, how many you want?" "No, I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow." He sends me an email. "This is what I'm looking for." I said, "Okay, done." No, and it's been like that ever since. Travis Tritt, boom. You know what I mean? Aria Speedwagon, boom. Right? Just, I'm gonna get an email from Don about tickets.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so Romac Lumber are big supporters of us and lots of organizations
Yeah,
here. And
definitely
they deserve a
Habitat.
lot of credit for that, trust me. So hopefully some other companies would see the light and go, you know what, maybe that's a good idea. We could do the same thing.
So if there is a company out there right now listening,
Yeah.
and they're like, that sounds like something I want to
Yeah.
do, or for Habitat for Humanity, but for Get Off the Bus, where can they get that information?
Well, the first thing would be just to go to our website and then connect through there, right?
Okay.
And I think on our website, my cell phone number's there. I think it is anyway. And they can send us an email through the website, and I'll get back to them, and be more than happy to try to do something with them.
Okay. Now, have you ever rejected somebody?
No.
A band, an artist? Well, you never know. Like,
Yeah.
you look
Yeah.
at me, look, I got 3 heads. It's like, well, no. Sometimes you go like, no,
Hey.
we're full, we're booked, or we don't have
Yeah.
space.
No. Really, though, to make it work, there has to be somebody on the other end of this like Danielle and Maria, who
certainly.
get it and understand that I'm not asking them to do very much other than you tell everybody that you know that there's a show and you're involved in it. That's all I need, right?
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there. And show up and do your thing, and we'll do the guitar, autograph guitar thing, and just that's it.
The process is actually very easy, and
Yeah.
that's why I loved it. So when I first met Joe and I started talking to him about their process, I said, I don't know, it seems too good to be true.
Doesn't
but,
it, though?
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scary for a nonprofit organization to maybe take a leap with someone they don't know, but he seemed like a stand-up guy, and once again, he was introduced to me by Dawn, and I trust Dawn, and Dawn is a huge supporter of Habitat. So it's been amazing, really. It's super easy.
Oh, that's
So.
great.
And so now, when I'm talking to an organization or they contact me, I give them Danielle's phone number or
I'm happy to promote it.
or someone else and say,
Just don't forget about me.
yeah, yeah. By the way, don't forget me.
Another, you got another, by the way.
Don't forget me when I'm gone is the hit song by Glass Tiger.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Can I tell you how it was written?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're on their way to the studio in Vancouver, and my partner and I drove them to the airport. And Alan Frew, the lead singer, turns around and says, "Don't forget us when we're gone." 3.5 hours later, 4 hours later, whatever the length of flight is from Toronto to Vancouver, phone call from Alan. Hey, guys, listen to this. Don't forget us when we're gone. Our
Is
hearts would
that
break.
right?
That's what, and it was not a song that was going to be on the album at all. The whole album had been, all the songs have been picked and adjudicated on by the whole thing, right? And so when they got in the studio, and they thought, well, let's just, they wrote it that day, but they changed it from Don't Forget Us, it's Don't Forget Me, a few other things.
Sure.
And they did it, but here's the funny thing is, they were working away on it, and it had kind of a shuffle beat to it and whatever, and Bryan Adams just happened to be recording in a studio down the hallway, and heard the song come up and says, that's a cool song. And he asked the band, hey, can I sing on it? So if you listen to the song, you'll hear up in there, and on the choruses, that's Bryan Adams up there. In the chorus.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Wealth of knowledge.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. And they're coming March the 6th.
March the 6th.
Yep.
All right. So, again, real quick, if someone wants to get a list of the upcoming events, where can they go?
GetOffTheBusConcerts.com.
And if someone wanted to be a part of Habitat for Humanity or get more information, where can they go?
They would go to habitatls.org.
All right. Danielle, Joe, thank y'all very much for being guests on the show. You're both doing great things, and if there's anything I can do, let me know.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks a
All
lot.
right.
Appreciate it.
So that concludes our show for today. I'm your host, Kris Poliquin. This has been Radio Waves. We'll see you next time.